the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
And this is the Courtside View podcast. And today we are back and we are talking about the ending of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef. Hopefully there's not going to be any other diss tracks between the two. You know, this is the finality. We can finally conclude things. We are at the end of the road, per se. So I want to talk about just who do we think is the clear victor in all of this, where we rank all the tracks, and sort of get a deep dive into Drake's last track, because I reacted to it, but you weren't able to get your 2 cents into it. So I wanted to get your critique of the song as well, the Heart Part 6. And that's where I want to go in first. Number one, the Heart Part 6.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts when Drake released that song? Basically, Kendrick releases Not Like Us, which was a banger instantly. Like, people were dancing to it in the clubs, and the next day they were dancing to it. And then Drake pops out on Monday and drops this. So what was your reaction to the response?
To Drake's response?
Yeah, Drake's response to Heart Part 6.
For one, I like the beat. I think he rapped well. He rapped well on the song.
Really?
But, yeah, he did, honestly. Like, it was like he was in like this one pocket in like the first third of the song. I was like, hold on.
I'll let you go.
It was looking a little spooky. Then he just messed it up.
Yeah, exactly. I'll let you cook though.
But yeah, he just messed it up in my opinion. And now the whole Mother I Sober line, not only that it's bad that he messed it up, he misinterpreted the song and ended up saying something bad. Mm-hmm. But then it was also like, then he goes on to say he's this war general prepared for. I'm like, how are you a war general when you got something so easy just messed up and just completely wrong? Then he said whoever gave the information was clowns. And he said, we plotted a week and fed you the information.
Contradictory statement.
Now, even if he was talking about some other information that had nothing to do with the whole child incident or whatever, you gotta like explain that. You can't just be like, yeah, whoever gave y'all that info was clowns. I gave you the information. Like, that don't make sense to me. And also the whole, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get to that after this one. But the whole, why hasn't Whitney come out and said anything? I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Like, what? If she ain't get beat, she ain't get beat. What she gotta say?
Exactly.
And I thought that was silly. And then he was talking about, oh, y'all don't follow each other on Instagram.
And
they follow each other in real life.
Exactly. What does that matter? Matter of fact, I don't think, does Kendrick follow anybody? That's my question.
I think he does, but I don't know. I don't be looking. I ain't checking Instagram. But then the line that was really like, no. He said, I'm too rich to be a PDF file.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
No.
Well, he said too famous. I was like, excuse me? How you think R. Kelly was able to get away with that stuff all these years? And then he said, I knew that the Epstein angle was gonna come up. Why would you suspect that, Drake? Yeah, he lost me with that. He was cooking it first, then he just lost me. Then that rant he had, that little soliloquy, whatever you call that, at the end of the track, I was like, yeah, he went out sad.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame. It's a shame. Mm-hmm. Not really though, but it's a shame.
Yeah.
All the OVO people still on the front lines trying to fight the war. Just go home.
Yeah, go home.
It's done.
Yeah.
You lost the streets. You lost y'all. Man, he beat y'all in every aspect. He beat y'all in rapping. He beat Drake in streams. He beat him in the streets because everybody playing the song calling him a PDF file. Yeah. And it's just not looking good for him.
Mm-hmm. Let me say this because I want to read the lyrics. This is the part you already mentioned some of them. This is the part that I was just dumbfounded that he would go this way, because when he was like, mother wait a second, that's that one record where you say you got molested. Oh, fuck me, I just made the whole connection. This is about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions.
This is when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you so obsessed with. It's so obsessive. They acting like it's so aggressive. But you just never know affection. I don't want to diss you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting.
That was funny.
I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this is the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted. I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggested. But that's not the lesson, clearly. There's a deeper message. Deep cuts that never healed and now they got infected. Like if Dave really fucked your girl and got you pregnant, talk about breeding resentment. That whole those bars right there, I was disgusted by it. It felt like I wrote it. Oh, seriously. Like, come on, Drake. And this is why I said on the reaction, he sounded like he was tired. He sounded like he was ready to wave the white flag. Because guess what happened? This place got shot up. The day afterwards, somebody tried to get into his house, and then just yesterday, somebody else tried to get in his house.
Yeah.
So he's dealing with a lot. Security guy got shot. I mean, there's probably some street stuff in Toronto that we don't know about, that he knows about, that's going on because Cash XO, I think he's the manager of the weekend. I think he's probably, I don't know if he's from Toronto, but I'm assuming he's from Toronto. His place got shot up. A security guard got shot at his place. So it's a lot of stuff going on. And Drake, he just got off tour. And then you have to fight a war with Kendrick Lamar. And then you have the street stuff with Toronto. He just sound tired. He just sounded like, hey, I'm not going to admit I lost. But I'm trying to save face. And this is the worst way you can save face. Really? Like, I'm too, what he's, like, I'm going to read it again. He was like, hold on. Where's that line? He said, I'm way too famous for the shit you just suggest. Like, come on, man. What?
As if that ever stopped anything.
What? Like, bro. This is ridiculous. And the whole Michael Jackson angle, it makes sense. It makes sense. And I'm not saying Michael Jackson, you know, he was messing with them kids like that, but it's odd. Like Joe Budden said, it's odd. It's literally Michael Jackson. It's crazy. It is so crazy. And even if Kendrick lied, it doesn't matter because it's a good lie. Because there's literally videos out there of him being creepy. DMs. Millie Bobby Brown went on an interview and said, oh yeah, me and Drake DM'd and stuff like that. It's creepy. And I agree. And Joe Budden, he talked about this on his podcast. And I agree. It is odd, bro. It is so odd. And for him to just go out there and to paint it like that, it's weird. Like, seriously, you're painting yourself as one of those people. R. Kelly did it in an interview. We saw it in 4K, and you're doing it now on a record. It's just creepy, dude. It's just creepy, man. And I can't stand for something like this. I'm not calling him a pedophile. I don't think Drake is a pedophile, but he's just creepy. You know what I mean? Like, who does that? Who hangs around a 13-year-old girl? Who hangs around underage girls? Like, if it was a niece, if that was your sister, if that was a cousin, I'll be like, okay.
That's different. Yeah, that's family.
Different. That's family. But these are people that you just met. You know, they not related to you. You just doing it just cause. Like, come on, man. That's not right. That's just not right, bruh. And Kendrick outmaneuvered him, out-schemed him. Drake just looked lost in all this. He looked like he wasn't prepared at all. And he was the one antagonizing him. He was like, drop, drop, drop. He was like, Kendrick, we waiting for you. We got to wait for you another week on Taylor Made. And he had that whole AI stuff with Tupac and Snoop, just disrespectfully the West Coast, disrespectfully Kendrick's, rap idols. Like, come on, man. Like, and then all of a sudden, Kendrick, he like, all right, I'm going to come with this bomb. And you not prepared? Like, you got leaks in your camp? There's a reason why Kendrick named his song Meet the Grams, because he knew, first of all, he knew about the record Family Matters before he dropped Meet the Grams. It's not a coincidence why he named that record Meet the Grams, because he knew, he probably already heard Family Matters. He probably heard a snippet of it. And so guess what? His Meet the Grams angle was a response to Family Matters. And anybody that think, oh, that's just a coincidence,
You're crazy.
you're crazy. Because Kendrick mentioned it on Euphoria, like, hey, we can have a friendly fade, but like, if you want to take it there, I'll take it further.
Mm-hmm.
And then 16 in LA, that was like another warning shot. That was like, he was daring him to drop. Because he knew exactly when he was going to drop. He knew he was going to want to drop Friday night. He was like, I dare you to drop. Because he mentioned the people in his camp being weirdos in 616 in LA. But he didn't elaborate further on it. He waited until Not Like Us. And then that's when he like just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna dance on your grave now.
Yeah.
Meet the Grams was like the nuke bomb, and Not Like Us was him dancing on Drake's grave. Literally like crip rocking on it. Because by then it was over. And the genius, and I want to like talk to you about this, like the genius of the way that Kendrick manipulated everything in his favor was that he drops the record 616 in LA. So that puts to bed, oh, Drake dropped 2 tracks and Kendrick's 1. So that means Drake is winning because he dropped 2 tracks. Well, all right, I dropped 616 in LA. So now we 2-2.
Right.
And people, me personally, I thought Kendrick had the best records of the 2. All right, Drake drops Family Matters. Kendrick's like, bet. I'm going to spin the block and I'm going to drop Meet the Grams maybe less than 30 minutes later.
Like 20 minutes?
20. It was fast. It was a fast response. Like, people were like, oh my God, Family Matters. Oh, this is crazy. And Kendrick's like, bet. I'm going to drop Meet the Grams, a spooky ass record with that horror like beat to it. That whole boogeyman persona, I'm going to feed into it. I am the boogeyman. I'm going to talk to your son. I'm going to write a letter to your son. I'm going to write a letter to your mom and your pops. I told your son, if you don't understand this, wait until you're 18 to listen to this. So that right there is creepy. And then everything else, he's talking about Drake just disrespecting his fatherhood, disrespecting him as a man, as a black man. Took away all the momentum because Family Matters, that was like a bop.
Yeah.
That was like a bop. This right here, you had to really listen to it. This right here, very creepy. Just changed the entire mood. I watched a lot of reaction channels, and their reactions to Family Matters versus Meet the Grams completely shifted.
Yeah.
He completely shifted the momentum, and that was genius. It doesn't matter if you think Family Matters is better than Meet the Grams. You have to acknowledge the fact that Kendrick completely shifted the momentum away, because you know how like a lot of people, they like to let the song marinate, try to listen to it again, maybe re-listen. If there's any lyrics that went over their head, maybe they will listen to it again and they'll be like, oh, I didn't hear that the first time. Kendrick completely erased that. He was like, no, all that momentum you just had for the last 30 minutes, it's on me now. It's my spotlight. And then the next day afterwards, he drops Not Like Us. And it's like, goddamn. It's like, again? 3 records in a 24-hour span?
Yeah.
Unheard of. What did I say before Kendrick dropped Euphoria? What did I say Kendrick had to do? I don't know if you remember.
I don't remember.
I said Kendrick has to do something we've never seen before. I said Kendrick has to drop like a 10-minute track, just going straight at Drake, or drop like an EP or something.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
And this right here, it's not an EP, but like, hey man,
It ain't far from it.
it ain't far from it, bro. 3 tracks, diss tracks in a 24-hour span is unheard of. I've never seen that before. Like Rick Ross dropped a diss track in 2 hours, but it's like it's Rick Ross. Like he ain't gonna do nothing to Drake. Like that was just like filler. This right here is different. And I knew Kendrick, like, in order for him to win, he had to do something unheard of that we never seen before, and that's exactly what he did. And that's why Kendrick is the number one dude of this generation, because he does stuff that nobody else is doing in the rap game. What was your thoughts on? Because man, a lot of shit transpired this past week. It don't even feel like it's been a week.
I know, right?
Bro, a lot of, like, Not Like Us happened on Saturday.
Yeah.
I feel like the song has been out for a month. That's how many people have been like, I'm seeing Not Like Us on freaking television during a NBA playoff game. I'm seeing USC football is playing the song in a promotional video. Like, what?
The Dodgers stadium was playing it while the players was at BP.
Boston
practice.
Celtics is playing it too. Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
What was your reaction to? Because we recorded, we reacted to Family Matters, we reacted to Euphoria, we reacted to 616 in LA. But then all of a sudden we get home and then this shit happened. What was your reaction to just the way Kendrick went about the whole situation, and also Drake as well?
So I'm gonna go Kendrick first. So I think Family Matters. Listen, Family Matters is tough. I put it on my playlist. I don't care. It don't slide in. And granted, the subject content is a little messed up, but the song in nature is just upbeat. You could dance to it or whatever. So I rock with it.
Yeah.
And I've been quoting it. It's hard to get the quotes out of your head.
Yeah.
And that's what's really, and honestly, and it's like, this doing really well. It's going to be like number one or something like that. Or between that or Euphoria. So I know that's killing Drake even more, because it's like, remember on Push-Ups, he was like, number-wise, I'm out of here, you not creeping up or something like that. Well, he crept up on you, Drake.
Yeah, he did. He's dominating.
So, yeah, it's a whole, I think the way he attacked this whole exchange was just a masterclass. And Kendrick was the war general, not you, Drake. We're going to get to that in a second. But let me tell you something. Drake, listen, we don't believe you. When it comes to you saying you planted the information, you baited him, we don't believe you. And let me tell you why I don't believe you. So you mean to tell me you recorded Family Matters, you had the van from Good Kid, Mad City, you had all these different things. You went to New Hope King and had fried rice with the dipping sauce. But you mean to tell me you didn't even think to be like, let me take some evidence, some recorded evidence, a screenshot, something that we actually baited this fool, so when he drops his track, we could just step on that immediately. I don't believe it. There's no way. There's no way that either you're an idiot or you're a liar, and I'm leaning towards you're a liar, because there's no way you baited him. There's no way.
Yeah,
I don't believe it. I can't believe I don't believe he's that dumb to not use the info or show the proof that you baited him. Where's the screenshots? You posted on IG, talk about something. So if I got a daughter, let me know, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't you post the evidence that you baited him? Yeah, I just don't believe it. I'm sorry. I ain't letting that slide. I'm only the OVO, only the Aubrey Angels and the OVO anywho, the OVO people's believing. No one's believing that. That sounds ridiculous. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, I think Kendrick, I think it was like a clean sweep, man. He got him on all fronts. He got him in rapping. He and the thing is, I forgot who said this, but he like, I think it was on the Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
But they said like he touched on like all different aspects
That was Joe
of the
Budden.
rap. Like he got some you could play in a party, some you could play in a car, some you could play just in a crib, just on some chill, cool stuff. Like he just touched all the aspects of rap, or all these different aspects of rap, and it's just like, man. While Drake, remember I said Drake, he played it relatively safe, and he was just doing every track was just like Drake. He wasn't really doing anything outside the box. He was just like, and that's why I also said I don't think he took it serious enough.
He was pandering to his audience. He was pandering to his fan base, and that was my thing. He was pandering too much to his fan base instead of, what about the other people? What about the hip hop heads? Aren't you trying to convince not just your fans that you're winning, but the people that love the art of hip hop, love the art of rap, like the Cam'rons, the Maces, and so on? It just seems like he didn't give a damn.
Yeah, and that last track, the Heart Part 6, I should call it the Fart Part 6, but anywho, the Heart Part 6, it just seemed rushed.
It did.
It seemed rushed, and it seemed like he was just he got them rebuttals off Twitter. Because at every rebuttal I heard in that song, I seen a tweet of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, yeah, I was like, it ain't even sound, that sounded like the most rushed thing he dropped this whole exchange.
Yeah, I don't even think it was a good lyrical record. Like, I understand he tried to spit on it, but I don't think he was from the bars perspective. I don't think it was that good. Now, I'm not like, a lyrical. I'm not in the game like that. I'm not a professional, but just hearing what other people are saying, it just felt like, again, it was rushed. It just didn't seem like Drake at all. It just, like 8 a.m. Like, I've heard 8 a.m. in Toronto. I've heard all those other tracks, 6 a.m. in New York or 6 p.m. in New York. He was spitting on it. He was spitting. Now, people will say, well, he had a ghostwriter. I don't know. But regardless, he didn't seem prepared. He was tired. And I just felt like I've heard better bars from Drake. The bars just didn't connect as well. I like the beat. Like, the beat was fire. The beat was immaculate. But just him on the beat, it didn't resonate to me at all. And I was disappointed.
Yeah, he didn't really bring the energy on that one.
I was, and it's not like it wasn't necessarily the delivery in his voice. It was just the bars just weren't hidden. It just, like, I'm looking at the way that he tried to put everything in perspective, and it was just like, nah, man, that just doesn't make any sense. It just didn't seem like a good written record to me. I look at Kendrick and I'm saying, I feel like I'm listening to like a professor in creative writing. Like, I feel like you see Luke Fiasco, he a professor at a university. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Kendrick is like a professor at some university as like a creative writer, because again, he won a Pulitzer Prize because of Damn. Mm-hmm. And I think he's that good with his pen that he could be a freaking professor in an English course. I look at Drake and I'm saying to myself, this record is just poorly written. And if there was a creative writing teacher, I bet they would look at this and say, "Oh, here's an error right here. Here's an error right here." That's how just.
Actually, there was some type of professor or something reacting to Drake's diss track, and he was breaking down like all the errors he
Exactly.
made.
It does not flow well. I know I'm not tripping, and when I listened to Joe Budden, he was kind of hinting at that as well. And that's just me. That's just me on the record, and that's why I wasn't really feeling the record at all. I was excited when the record came out. I was like, yes, we got a Drake response. And then I heard the beat, and I was like, oh, he about to go in his bag. He about to go in his lyrical bag. Finally, this is what I wanted. And when he finally just focused on Kendrick, it was just a dud. A 2-pack of ass. And I was just so disappointed in this angle of it all. Because the entire beef, it's been, I'm going to diss Kendrick half a song, and I'm going to diss other people in the song. And I'm like, I can't respect that. And then when there's like a song tailor-made where it's like just about Kendrick, you use AI? It's like, come on, man. Like, you're not taking it seriously like you said. And that's why Drake ultimately lost this. He didn't take it seriously enough. He thought he could do the same exact thing he did to Meek. He thought he did the same exact thing to these other rappers, and it would work. This is Kendrick freaking Lamar, and you didn't take him seriously. A dude from Compton, it's like he never listened to any one of his songs.
You know, Drake's problem was, even in the Heart Part 6, it sounded like he was still trying to Lil Bro him.
Yes.
And like, you can't Lil Bro Kendrick Lamar.
No. Like, that's the problem. I know Jay-Z versus Nas. I think Jay-Z may be a little bit older than Nas, but I think Nas, when he came out, I think it was Illmatic. That was like a number one hit. I think he was like 19 years old and everything like that. So it's definitely different. But I know Nas was like a little bit younger, and Kendrick Lamar, he's younger than Drake. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, that's your peer. Yeah. This is not Rick Ross. This is not Meek Mill. This is not Pusha T.
It's not A$AP Rocky.
It's not A$AP Rocky.
That's not going to work on Kendrick Lamar.
Come on now, bro. Like, he is right there with you, and that's the thing. That's why this whole feud was so impactful, because these are the two at the top of their game. And so whatever Kendrick says, it hits more, because Drake, he can't Lil Bro him, because they're both at the top. So when Kendrick says you got money issues, you got alcohol issues, you got drug issues, you got gambling issues, like, oh shit. Like, Kendrick, he's right there with you, and he's telling you this. That means that's a big deal. Those words have more power to them. It's like if Jay-Z told Drake, hey, you tripping, you doing da-da-da-da-da. It's like, oh, shit. Like, that's Jay-Z telling you. Like he's right there with you. He's one of the greats. Like, this is not no Pusha T. This is not no Rick Ross telling you this. Like, no, I am your peer, and I'm telling you this. It's like if LeBron told Kevin Durant, like, dude, you like what like you tripping right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's exactly like that. So, yeah, man. Like Kendrick and Drake. It's just this entire feud. I mentioned it before. It just speaks to the differences in the artistic nature of things. Kendrick, I feel like he's the better artist. I feel like as a hip hop artist, he's better than Drake from a lyricism standpoint, to just a creativity standpoint. I think Kendrick has the edge over Drake. I feel like Drake's, ever since More Life, hasn't evolved. There hasn't been a change. There hasn't been a change in the way that he's approached this music. It's all been
honestly,
the same,
Nevermind,
which was awful. Which was absolutely awful in my opinion. I don't like that house music. Get that shit out of here. Nobody really liked it. So there's just differences in the way that they approach things. You look at every one of Kendrick's albums, they sound different. There's a different message in them. Drake's album, ever since Views, it seems like it's all the same. Besides, honestly, Nevermind. It's just the same stuff over and over again. And this whole feud just reminded me of that. So yeah, man. So how you look at it? So where you rank all these tracks?
I'm gonna try to do this off the top of my head. First, I think my favorite song out of the entire back and forth was Euphoria.
Really? You think that's your favorite?
Yeah.
So you would have that ranked number one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after that, cause like not only because I like the rapping on that, but he literally predicted how this would go in the first section of that track.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, well, pretty much all of that stuff happened, so I got to give it extra points for that. And I think it was the best he was like rapping on. When like Kendrick was I think that was the best lyrical performance he put out the entire exchange. And then after that, I'm gonna go Not Like Us, because it's like the repast of a funeral. It's like, okay, we mourn, now it's time to turn up and eat and celebrate and all that stuff. And then after Not Like Us, I'm gonna put Family Matters. I like Family. It's not a bad song at all.
Mm-mm.
It's just, I would just wish he would have focused more on Kendrick the whole time. Like the mid part, who really cares about A$AP? Like, and Rick Ross and The Weeknd, like, come on now. Weeknd didn't even say anything else. He just came back and spun on him for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess because his bodyguard got shot. I don't know, but hey, and then after that, I'm gonna go.
You have
I'm
push
gonna
ups. You have
go.
meet the
Oh,
grams.
Meet the
you-
Grams after
okay.
Family Matters.
Okay.
I like Meet the Grams. It's a very dark track. Like that's not something I can play consistently or just on a whim. Like I would have to play that if I'm specifically looking for something
Yeah.
I would play that in totality with the rest of the songs if I was just revisiting, but like on its own, I can't listen to that. It's too creepy and dark for me. I ain't gonna lie. Alchemist, he did his thing on that production. Then after Meet the Grams, I'm gonna say
You got 616. You have Tailor Made, and you have push ups.
and also the Hard Part 6.
Part 6.
Hard Part 6 is
That's
gonna
the
be
worst.
last for
That's
me.
the worst.
It's gonna last for me. I'm sorry. I'm just putting it last. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. But I'll go with I like 616 in LA. He was rapping on there.
He was.
Like that once I was like, oh my god. I was listening to it yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, he was rapping on there. So I'm gonna go 616 in LA. Then I'll go Push Ups, Tailor Made Freestyle, and then Hard Part 6.
Okay. All right.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go Hard Part 6, then Tailor Made Free. I don't mess with that AI stuff at all. Just for the AI usage, it goes in last place.
Wow, last place. All right. I'm gonna look at it from this. I think the best tracks, the best diss tracks. I say number 1 is Meet the Grams. I think the impact on Meet the Grams, I feel like the way that Kendrick calculated everything, obviously Euphoria, it was more so a prediction of everything. Like he predicted this all. But Meet the Grams, it's just so dark and sinister, and it completely shifted the momentum away from Drake and onto Kendrick. Like 30 minutes later, you drop this, and it's dark and it's sinister, and seeing the reactions from other people, I just look at Meet the Grams and I say, when we look back into the history of this, I think Meet the Grams is going to be the track where people are going to say that's when Kendrick won, and I believe.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
I do. If
People
you
gonna
if,
say, I think most people gonna look back and say he won when Not Like Us dropped.
like Not Like Us was the cherry on top, but I think Meet the Grams was when it was like, all right, Kendrick is up, because I remember like after that came out, a lot of people were shifting towards Kendrick. There wasn't a consensus, but it was a lot of people on the internet that were shifting towards Kendrick. Not Like Us came out, and that's when it was like a consensus that Kendrick won. But I think Meet the Grams, I think the beat is going to be used heavily by a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be using this beat for years to come. It's going to be one of those type of beats where you're like, where did that beat come from? And then you go back and it's like, oh shit, it's from that? And then people go listen to the track. It's like, damn, this shit dark as hell. But yeah, I think Meet the Grams is the number 1 track for me. I think number 2, I'm going to go with Not Like Us. That shit is just a vibe. And then like the way he disrespected and just danced on Drake's grave pretty much like that. I think Not Like Us is number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go with Family Matters. Although Drake didn't necessarily diss Kendrick on the entirety of the track, it still was a very good track. It still was very impactful, and he was sliding on that. I didn't like the whole singing aspect of it, but he still was sliding on it. There was some tea, and it was good tea, even if it wasn't true or not. And so I'm gonna give Drake that number 3 spot. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Euphoria. I think Euphoria, he predicted it all. That was pretty much like a warning shot to Drake, like, yo, like, we can have a friendly fade, but if you take it there, I'm gonna take it further. And that's what he did. So I'm gonna go with Euphoria, number 4. Number 5, I'm gonna go with 616 in LA. I think Kendrick was spitting on that hoe. He was daring Drake to drop Family Matters, and he called out Drake's peoples on there. He didn't elaborate, he elaborated in Not Like Us, but I thought it was a really good track to pretty much warm things up for the 3rd round. Then I'll go with Push Ups after that.
Push Ups was cool when it dropped. Like it was a vibe, but I still wasn't necessarily impressed with Drake because again, he was calling out it was really Drake trying to portray himself as the final boss, as like Thanos, like everybody's coming after me, like I am Beatrix from Kill Bill type of vibe thing, where it's like it's 1 versus 20. Like that's what he was trying to portray himself as. Like I'm the top dog and everybody is trying to fight for second place type of vibe. I mean, it was a cool song to vibe to. Like I admitted it on the podcast that I liked the song, but I don't think it was necessarily a great diss track towards Kendrick. And then after that, I would go Tailor Made. I mean, it wasn't AI. Like, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, he said something so disrespectful. It was more so, I dare you to drop. I'm not scared of you, per se. And then last one, it has to be the Hard Part 6. Like the Hard Part 6, I don't like the track. Like, I just think lyrically he missed the ball. I like the beat, I like the delivery, but the lyricism on there, I just was not feeling it at all. Like a lot of the stuff he was saying was just nasty, just disgusting and creepy. And so that's my rankings of the diss tracks. I think Kendrick won in every aspect, every round. I feel like he won. There's going to be other people that disagree with me. They say Family Matters is better than Meet the Grams. That's all right. But at the end of the day, even if you think Family Matters is better than Meet the Grants, you have to acknowledge that Kendrick outmaneuvered him. He outsmarted him. He had the better strategy at the end. And if it was a war, Kendrick would be the victor. And so that's how I'm looking at it. And hopefully we don't have to worry about reacting to another diss track from Drake, because then he's just punching air. Like there's literally nothing for him to punch. Yeah. He's literally shooting at an open range, like where there's nothing there. No target, no nothing. It's just an open space. So hopefully we don't have to worry about that again. And if I'm Kendrick, my next album, I'm talking that shit. I'm like, I'm that nigga. Like I'm number 1. Everybody is number 2. I am going to go crazy. You know what would be great? You know what would be great? If we can get another Kendrick and Pusha T track.
That might be happening.
I really want that, because if years ago, like 10 plus years ago, they had a track and that shit was fire. I remember when I heard the track, that shit was up.
What song? It's the Kendrick and Pusha T song.
Yeah, it was like
Nostalgia.
I think yeah. That shit was, man.
Yeah, that has one of my favorite Kendrick Lamar schemes in it.
Yeah, that show.
When I was 10, back when 9 announcers said I got you 10, and 9 times out of 10 don't pay attention, and when there's tension in the air, 9s come with extensions. Like, come on.
That song, I fucking love that song. So yeah, I would love another Pusha T and Kendrick collab. But yeah, man, I think that'll do it for our final
Kendrick saga
evaluation of the Kendrick versus Drake beef. We both have Kendrick as the victor, and hopefully there's nothing else to come from this besides just good music and
no violence,
no shootings, no fades, no nothing. All right,
Just let me be me.